the Notorious OTB episode 400 Tournament of Pain edition of the Notorious OTB is on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the Notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And folks, as always,
baby. It was all a dream.
We used to read Blood Horse magazine.
Yes, Cuban B.
Now I'm your host, Chase Sessoms, the Wolf of Oakland.
I'd rather be trapped than lazy. Don't care what they say, I'ma do what they say. It happens every year about this time. Weaklings act like they lost their mind. Alphas reclaim the neighborhood. Rob the sheep and all the wolves get good.
Yo, if you were hustling, you know it. I can
Off at any moment. There we go. Yes. Welcome to the show. Normally joining me as always, to be joining me shortly as always, you might know him as the Michelangelo of the Crown, Michael Jordan. He's your favorite capper's favorite capper. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry the Sniper Spears.
Hey, don't rub on that. You block that. You understand? That's alpaca. That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rub on. Put the club soda on there.
So we are -1, but also +2, because folks, for episode 400, we brought in the heavy hitters, the people who have probably been on the show more than anyone other than Barry and I. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from Naira Bets. He failed to menace, but he succeeded to steal America's heart. Matthew DeSantis.
Matthew, be careful, it's slippery right there, so. Jesus Christ! Come back, Matthew! Oh, God. Matthew, God. Rebecca.
And, of course, you might know her from her work from America's Day at the Races on Fox Sports.
And what the fuck are you doing on TV anyhow? You know, I get calls from back home every fucking day. They think you went batshit.
Sara Elbadwi. What's up, Sara?
What's up? What's happening? Good to be joined by both of you. It feels like we're bringing the whole crew back together. I know Barry's out there somewhere in space, and we're going to get him in here eventually. But these are my favorite contests because I get to beat up on you guys, and that's what matters most.
Yeah, and by beat up, you mean hope to God.
Yeah, I was going to say thanks for spilling the beans because it was a contest, but I've been tweeting things about
so much hate already. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, get angry. Open up your heart and let that hate out is what I say. Guys, it's episode 400. It's my wife is telling me she read some statistic that most podcasts don't make it 30 episodes. I was amazed we made it to 100. I'm super fucking shocked we've made it to 400. For everyone who's ever tuned in, if you're watching us for the first time, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. But that's where the pleasantries fucking end, guys. It's episode 400. We're celebrating. I've got the 3 other people who've been around. It's time to dust off an old tradition, something that we had left to the brutal history. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a tournament of pain. That's right. We're not just giving out free picks with a $100 budget for the Friday Penn Mile card. But we're going head-to-head with a twist. We are actually going to be randomly selecting teams. So I really hope that Barry makes it back. So let's figure out who your teammate is going to be. Ba-bam. All right, first spin. Basically, first 2 spins. Whoever comes up lands on a team. Guys, I feel so naked without Barry here. Like my shield of armor is gone.
We got you.
All right, here we go.
He's here in spirit.
Chase is going
you.
to be team with you.
All right, whoever.
Winner.
Let's see. Watch this just be me and Barry. This is gonna be the funny part.
Oh,
Yep.
we call
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we
All
go.
right. Fuck it.
Yep.
Let's do this.
You guys are already predicting winners.
I brought a wheel into it. Great. Here we go. Let me go ahead. Let me give out the rules here. Actually, first, real quick, don't forget NASCAR's in season. Their in-season tournament is they're running a free contest for the Sports Gambling Podcast, NASCAR Gambling or the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. So head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NASCAR contest for your chance to win a $200 gift card, and make sure to subscribe to the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Okay, so the rules are simple, guys. The rules are as follows. Essentially, it's one of our $100 budget shows. The team with the highest bankroll by the end of the day on a Friday is declared the winner. However, there can only be one ultimate berserker. Whoever has the highest bankroll personally at the end of the day will be dubbed the ultimate berserker, and they will receive a gift from Amazon on their doorstep. It may or may not be a GIMP mask. Here's a spoiler. It is 100% a GIMP mask. There is a GIMP mask sitting in my cart on Amazon currently, and I'm sure that me and my wife are going to have a serious discussion about that one. So this is what I do for you guys. I subject myself to pain for the Tournament of Pain. Does everyone understand the rules as stated?
We do.
I do.
You do. Okay. Let's see. We might have to loop back around to Barry's picks if he ever check my text messages right here. All right, we might have to loop back to his picks. Let's see. Let me get some screens changed. I'm rattled, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Just the sheer size of the moment of episode 400 has me in a tizzy, guys. All right. We're going to be talking about Penn National this Friday, the 27th of June, year of our Lord 2025. Post time for the card, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. God's time, and 2 p.m. Pacific time out on the Pacific Coast. Sara, I'll go to you first. What did you think of this illustrious Penn Nash card here?
Well, I think that most are probably just excited that they're going to actually be able to execute this and get it underway when we've had a couple of weather situations delaying this card being run. And so to have some of the stakes races still be competitive and still feature a lot of horses that if you're following another circuit like I am, you can still tune in and be like, oh, I know you. That's very helpful. So it's a competitive card. They always have a good turnout for this night, and looking forward to seeing what we get from some of these horses that are going to be on a surface that they maybe are very unfamiliar with.
So, Matthew, you're from Pennsylvania. It might not be as jarring to you as it is to me. How do you feel about seeing Penn National under the sunlight? Because it feels like someone turned the lights on in a porno theater to me. Like, you're not supposed to. No one should see this. No one should be here.
Yeah, it's obviously a little bit different than what you expect. And it's great that Penn National has its moment in the sun, and emphasis on sun because now there's actually good weather, although there might have been good weather last week too, and they decided not to run it anyway. But listen, I'm not part of the racing office there, but it is going to be interesting to see. Penn National is the track that I first went to. That was the very first racetrack my dad took me to. I grew up about 40 minutes from there. So it's really special to have it on its, to have them have their big day. Like Sara said, it's fun to be able to look through this card and see some familiar faces. Obviously, the stake sequence is a little bit earlier than you might otherwise expect because of them having to finagle this into some pre-existing condition books and things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun and some big names and honestly, some horses that you're going to see run on Friday that I think if they run well, you're going to see them come back in spots probably up here in New York and all likelihood running in some big graded stakes races this summer at Saratoga. So this could be a stepping stone for a few different horses throughout the card.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, Matthew. Especially when you see Chad Brown make moves with his horses, bringing them into town. Like it's a good confidence boost, I feel like, for some of his horses sometimes. So completely agree. And also, I appreciate them getting the early, big part of the card done because I'm 40 as fuck, and I will be asleep by the time that last race goes to post. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and dig in. I hope Barry makes it back soon. He's got to play in race 2. We might let him circle back to it. We will see. But I kick it off in the first race on the card, race 1, 6 furlongs, $12,000 optional claiming on the dirt. Oh, wait, I forgot. Battle begins.
The battle begins.
I love it.
My first strike of the battle. I've got a $5 daily double here. One with the 1-6 put me in for 10 total so far. And I didn't think that the early speed threat that the favorite on the rail will face is off, enough to subdue it. And I think that the one Ellie's reward at 5-2 runs his field into the ground early. And I think that because of the run style, the odds of this one being bet to smithereens in the win pool will be probably pretty high. And I'm going to try to get value out of it by stretching it to 2 horses I like at bigger prices in race 2. So we are single in the first leg.
Yes, I'm singing. I want to mingle.
You want to mingle?
Yeah.
With the number 1, Ellie's Boyfriend. I roll that double into race 2. 5 furlongs, $40,000 optional claiming on the turf. Listen, Matthew, I just need to live my truth. Yeah, you know what? I'm tired of you fucking bullying me for thinking every sprint race is gonna melt down.
You want to see me kick some ass? I do fucking karate. You want to fucking
I think you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matthew. What were you gonna say?
No. I was just give it to me again. Give it to me, Chase. I need to hear this analysis of how the 5 furlong sprint at Penn National is going to melt down.
You know what? I'm the biggest star here, man. That's the way it is.
I'll tell you, Matthew. This race is gonna get a little chaotic on the front, and I decided that my winner likely comes from mid-pack here. This race is probably chaotic enough that I say toss the favorite and just use these 2 off-pace horses at a price that I like. My top pick, if we were gonna give a top pick to one of these 2 ticket rounders here, it's gonna be the 6 Gastown Babe at 10-1. Has one of the better closing kicks in this race, and I like seeing the 5 furlong workouts leading into it. So I'm rolling into the 6, and then I'm using the 1 Afandi at 10-1. I have a neighbor named Bridget Afandi that's some sort of like personal injury lawyer, and the reason I know this is because like shrink wrapped on her PT Cruiser is a picture of her like in a judge's gown wearing boxer gloves that says Bridget Afandi. Just a fun story about the name Afandi. But this one could be sitting on a big performance first off the layoff and should be saving ground right behind the early speed in the second wave. I mean, it's probably your 2 Gift of Gab who wins this, but I'm going to ride the lightning and play a $5 daily double starting in race 1 to the 1 and the 6. Barry has a play in race 2, but we're going to skip ahead though.
By the way, Chase, 3. just wanted to clarify, that is race 2 that you were just talking about with Afandi?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you being mean to me again and I don't know it because I'm a little bit
I'm not being mean to you, but you kept saying race 1, and it is indeed not race 1, and I was very confused. It's race 2.
Well, it's a race 1 daily double. Sorry. Race 1 daily double into race 2. 1 in race 1, 1-6 in race 2.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Thank you for being an educator and catching that. All right.
You're being unclear, Chase, to the audience.
It's real talk. Moving on, we got a play in race 3 out of Sara. It's her first play. Race 3, 8.5 furlongs, $75,000. The Lyford Stakes for PA Breds.
I was steep raised. You think I'm scared to catch a case? On some bullshit?
On the turf. You're getting super exotic with this. What are you doing here?
This is where a lot of the play is going and a lot of the money is going because I personally don't know a lot about how these courses play generally at Penn National because I just frankly don't always have the time to tune into any other circuit. And so I looked for a horse that has that level of consistency over this course. And so that led me to really feel as though the number 8, Lady Out of the Blue, is the horse that I wanted to key all of my plays in this race around. And so what I'm doing is $2 exacta box with her and the number 3, Nature's Candy. I like both of them quite a bit in here. $5 to win on the 8 because I think that the price will be fair enough that I don't want to miss out if this horse actually gets the W. And then where we're spending the money is a 50-cent try key box with number 8 as your key, with the 1 Getaway Palace, 3 5 Karina, 6 Jean Marie, the 11 Princess Jaboncia, and the 12 Anoint for $46 total bet, $54 total being bet into this race because the number 8, she's never finished out of the money in 7 starts on the grass at Penn National. And so I feel confident that she's going to get herself into that trifecta.
Ooh, I got bad news. Barry might have given up. We will see.
Oh.
For sure. So, with that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and read out Barry's bet here for the second. It's just so we stay current and everything. For race 2, he had a $20 win on the 10. Then he was playing a $5 daily double for 20 total, 610 with the 411. All right, we are back into race 3. You just gave your exacta and try, correct, Sarah?
Exacta box, win, and try. Key box.
There we go. All right. Well, Sarah, we actually might trigger a little Paul Rudd scenario here.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
Because like you and like Paul Rudd, I'm getting incredibly adorable here with a trifecta play. I've got a $2 trifecta that's going to be 8-12 with 8-11-12 with 1-8-11-12. That's a $16 play. It puts me in for 26. And I'm getting just puppies and corgi suits. Puppies and corgi suits. Puppies and sailor suits. Just adorable here with my play. Because I thought this pace should get wild early for a route race. And I think that you'll see horses that are capable of picking up pieces winning. And I have 2 overlays that I love that I'm going to wheel in with the lukewarm morning line favorite. And then another longer shot in third. I've got 2 overlays that should be running from off the pace. And I like either of them to get all the way up at a price late. And I'm going to put the 8 Lady Out of the Blue on top, along with the 12 Anoint at 15-1. In this trifecta. They have the best closing kicks. I think that either's, possible springing the upset with a clean trip. And second, I'm wheeling in the Pratt horse 11, Princess Javonica at 4-1 because this is Penn National and that's Flavian Pratt. Then in third, with those 3 horses, I'm wheeling in a 4th horse. The number 1 Getaway Palace at 6-1 is the early speed horse I like to possibly hold for a piece of the try. So that was a $2 trifecta, 8-12 with 8-11-12 with 1-8-11-12. So Sarah, it looks like we saw this one pretty damn similar.
Now I'm nervous.
Yeah. It's probably a good thing that we're not on the same
teammates.
Team, because if we were wrong, we would be really wrong there.
We'd be real
Yikes indeed. All right, real quick before we hit, has got to get a word in from our good friends at mybookie.ag, because we are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by the Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway. Listen, we've talked about it. Barry and I have talked about it. If you win this, you and your league get to draft at Circa, and they're going to feed you way too much alcohol and make sure that you don't drive anywhere. and they put you in a limo, thank God, because they are going to feed you way too much alcohol, like a $5,000 tab at Stadium Swim. Listen, it's last chance to enter for their Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football Draft giveaway. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. If you excuse me, I need to get a brief rehydration interlude in.
Can I make my phone call? Do I have rights? Can I make my phone call?
Who you gonna call?
Huh?
Who you gonna call?
Yo, mama.
We're back, and what are we doing? We're giving out free picks for this episode 400 Tournament of Pain.
And I make nothing. Zero. Zilch. By the time I pay all my scientists, all my people in my research department, lab coats, it's a wash. Well, why you do it then, baby Billy? Well, because I'm selfless.
Because we are selfless. Guys, I trudged forward without my partner in crime. If you notice me being a little bit frazzled today, that's why I'm not responding to the chat here to Junior Mafia, because I just got too much going on, guys. All right. Those were our plays for race 3. Matthew, we move on to you next in race 4, where we've got the 8.5 furlongs, $75,000 PA bred alphabet soup stakes. What did the soup spell for you in your spoon, Matthew?
Well, the soup spelled for me a massive jockey upgrade, and that is on the number 9, who is your morning line favorite. And that horse F35 is 5-2. And this is an angle I will play all day, every day. And that is Sheldon Russell off. Well, that angle I'll just play all day, every day. But then Irad Ortiz Jr. up for trainer Brittany Russell. And whenever the wife taps the husband on the shoulder and says, honey, you're off the mount for Irad Ortiz Jr., that's usually a good thing, in my opinion. So F35 for me, I just think this is a horse that certainly has been running well. Really, you can draw a line through that one effort down at the fairgrounds, coming off the bench. I think you look at that, this horse has been very consistent facing open company, now getting back to state bred company. And I think just kind of stands over this field in a lot of ways. I know the number, I think it's the number 2. Is it number 2? No, number 4. I'm sorry. Fierce and Strong at 4-1 is a little bit dangerous. But I just think that the 9 with the jockey upgrade to Irad, Brittany, always a high percentage trainer. And like I said, I think Irad on the turf in this spot makes a lot of sense. But I do like another horse in this race. So I'm going to do a $10 win bet on the 9. But I like the number 7 Sharp Tones as a bit of a long shot. This is a horse that doesn't run on the turf often, but got a win against Open Company last time out at Pimlico and a $40,000 optional claimer at a big price at 37-1, and did so despite the fact that the horse, went a little wide and but made a huge run late, massive turn of foot over a good turf course. And I just think this one I'm interested in trying to use maybe a little bit more underneath, has some nice form to him. And so I'm going to use this as just a $5 straight exacta with the 9-7. So $10 to win on the 9 and a $5 exacta 9-7 in race number 4.
Oh, yeah. There we go. I like that play because I actually really liked the 7 in this race and contemplated very strongly putting just a straight up win bet on the 7 here. Sara, you've got action. What action are you making here in race 4?
Well, I feel as though Matthew and I went in totally opposite directions in this race, but since we're teammates, if we don't have this covered, I would be very disappointed in us in some way. And you're right, Andrew Champagne, I blame Matthew too for everything. In the 4th, I do like the number 4, Fierce and Strong, and I was going to do a $2 exacta key box with him, as well as the number 5, Bartlett, a horse that's only tried the turf once. It was in a stakes, the Hill Prince, last year at Backwaduct, and we did see Deterministic win that race over Cugino, so just facing much better company and showing good early speed on the grass in that lone start. And then I'm going to also throw the number 11, Major Thomas, as well as the number 12, Retweet in there, just using that angle going forwards of horses that seem to really have an appreciation for hitting the board right here at Penn National. So $12 total, which brings me up to a grand total of 66.
66 bones. There you go, Junior Mafia. I've got everything updated in the chat. We are up to date. Barry had a play in this race as well. He is in race 4. He's got a $20 win, and it's going to be on number 4, Fierce and Strong. There we go. Keep you up to that. I'm not going to pretend to know his thinking on things, though. I feel like I know his thinking on things. But we move on to my next play, which comes in race 5. Race 5, 8 furlongs, $150,000. The Penn Oaks Stakes on the turf. This is probably my strongest play of the day, close to it at least. I've got a $20 win on the number 5. Bessie Abbott, 8-1. Irad Ortiz, Mark Cassie, because I smells loose on the lead. And I know I sound hyperbolic here when I say I'm throwing caution to the wind with Irad aboard this horse, but I feel like I'm literally throwing caution to the wind because I'm using Irad on the front end. I just thought this one should be unpressured, and hopefully Irad doesn't fuck this up. I'm dropping the win bet on Bessie Abbott, and because I was sitting at a total that wasn't a multiple of 5, and that drives me fucking crazy, I put those pesky $4 to get to a round number to work. With the $2 back to King, Bessie Abbott over 2 horses that should be trying to chase down the slow pace late and should be sitting wide off the pace in a good spot to run up for the minors. So that's a $2 exacta with our horse, the 5, Bessie Abbott on top. And then putting the 6, Midway Memories, and the 7, Candy Quest underneath. So that was my play in race 5. Barry in race 5 had a $20 win on the number 5, Bessie Abbott. When will this madness stop? Matthew, what are you doing in 5?
You know, it's interesting. I didn't know what to do with the 5, just because that Wonder, again, was a 3-horse field where Nitrogen just galloped to a really impressive effort, 91 Beyer speed figure, which somehow was 13 points lower than Raging Torrent, despite the fact that they went the same distance and about 0.27 seconds difference. And yes, I know track conditions can change, but geez, that feels like a really big difference between what Nitrogen did and what Raging Torrent did in that Penn Mile. But nevertheless, setting aside Beyer speed figures for fillies and mares, I just don't know what to do with this horse in a lot of ways. That that effort was so anomalous, I have a feeling. And you go back to look at that other effort coming from a little further off, more tracking the pace. It'll be interesting. I ultimately looked at 2 horses that I really liked in this race. One of them was the favorite Laurelin on the far outside, 4-trainer Grand Motion. This horse just keeps getting better. And I don't know if we found this horse's ceiling yet. And I tried to, beat this horse last time out in the Memories of Silver coming off the bench. And the horse showed a really good closing kick and managed to really dig in with Kendrick aboard, who's been aboard all 3 times, stays aboard now. And, listen, this is a 2-time grade winner, or 2-time stakes winner, I should say. And I just, Grand Motion obviously knows how to train. This is a horse basically second back from a pretty extended layoff. So I think you're going to see the best from Laurelin, who also has enough tactical speed to be able to cross over some of this field and sit, I think, a pretty comfortable trip. And then you mentioned him earlier, but Chad Brown, the number 1, Ascent. This is an interesting placement for this horse. And you get a horse that debuted at Tampa. And I think Chad's been debuting more and more of his horses at Tampa. He really likes that turf course there. And this one looked really good in debut with Sammy Camacho aboard, showed ability to really make up a lot of ground late and held on for that win. Now you get Flavian Pratt up on the mount, and it just feels like a pretty aggressive placement for a horse that was a last out debut maiden winner at Tampa and has been training at Monmouth. So interesting that Chad's moving this one here. And I just have a feeling it could be, signs for things to come. So I'm doing a $10 exacta box, which is $20 total bet on the 1-9. And then I do think this is a pretty spready race. So I'm also starting a $4 daily double, which will end up being a $20 overall bet in this race, where I use the 1, 4, 6, 8, and 9. So that's kind of how I'm playing this first leg of the daily double.
All right. Well, Sara joins you with the daily double in this spot here. She's got a win bet also. So Sara, go ahead. Give me your win bet and the first half of your daily double.
I mean, this is working out perfectly from a team perspective because Matthew and I went in different directions, whereas everyone else went in the same direction. So If we're wrong, at least I got Matthew to back me up here, as I like the 5, Bessie Abbott as well. I thought she had a bit of a trip in that first start in the U.S. I don't really include the last race as being any sort of factor. It's on the surface that she probably won't stay on. It was a 3-horse field. She was well defeated by her stablemate. I think part of it was keeping her in to have the race actually run as is and have Nitrogen face at least one other horse besides Mayday ready in there who's coming off the layoff. And it just seems as though she's one that could take a step forward from the race 2 back, which was on the grass. I thought she had a little bit of traffic trouble in that spot. I don't know that she's going to be the price that she is on the morning line, but at least with the presence of a horse like Laurelin towards the outside, I feel confident that she won't be favored in here. So I have $10 to win on her. And then I think the horse in the next race, Zulu Kingdom, the 7, is just way the horse to beat. So I have a $4 double with the number 5, Bessie Abbott, in here to the number 7 in the next race.
Into the big race, the reason for the season, kind of. I would argue that episode 400 of the Notorious OTB, even though we're missing half of the hosting power, is a bigger occasion than the Penn Mile, but I digress. Anyway, real quick, before we hit the big race, got to get a quick word in from our good friends at Underdog, because Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer. They're giving away $15 million of prize. Matthew has just left. He's just walked off the show.
Building.
He's just said, fuck it, I'm out. $15 million of prizes, including, oh, he's back. Oh my, hold on one second. There's something needs to be done right now.
Matthew, be careful, it's slippery right there, so. Jesus Christ! Come back, Matthew! Oh, God. Matthew, God. Rebecca.
Anywho, just Underdog is also a great place to play pickup. So sign up with promo code SGPN to claim your special play plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by the good nerds at Rhythm. You've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean, data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Get your 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And if you excuse me, I need to get a brief rehydration interlude in with a sound drop that summarizes how I feel right now. There we go. We move it on to race 6, the big race on the day, 8 furlongs, $400,000. The Penn Mile Stakes, a grade 3 on the turf. I'm going to lead it off here. I don't really disagree at all with what Sara just had to say about the 7, Zulu Kingdom here for Chad Brown with Flavian Pratt up. I know the routine at this point in my career. If there's a stakes race remotely close to the New York area, offering decent money, and the field likely compromised of maybe a few tough horses, most likely local scrubs, Chad is going to ship in, bring a good jock, and win that shit. I'm leaning into it and keying this horse, number 7, Zulu Kingdom, who should win for fun at 7-5 on the morning line. Underneath, I'm going to use the same 3 horses for second and third. A horse that I feel like I've been trying to bet for months now and keeps scratching, and he pops up in a turf race, so why the fuck not? The number 2 Barbadian Runner. I'm going to go ahead and add him underneath. I'm going to use who I think is the early speed that will hold for a piece, the 4 Mibago. Now I'm hoping for Irad to do a shitty job on the front. And I'm going to use the 8 Dream On to round out my $5 trifecta, $30 play, 9-2 for Mark Cassie with JJ. Should be in the mix late with a Barbadian Runner here. So that's it. That's the play. $5 trifecta, 7 over 248 over 248. Barry, he had a win bet here in race 6. He's got 20 to win on the 8 Dream On. So it looks like we're pretty well covered. Matthew, you also have a win bet here for race 6. What are you doing?
Hey, yeah, I think, we kind of all see this race pretty similarly. Don't want to talk it to death, but I just have a $20 win bet on number 7, Zulu Kingdom. and the horse that I just have a really high opinion of. I just think is going to be very difficult to beat. Obviously, coming out of that Grade 1 victory in the American Turf last time out, and a horse that really improved, I think, from 2 to 3. One of the things you noticed about this horse at 2 was a little bit of immaturity, would kind of get to the lead and look around and maybe let horses in a little bit more than he should otherwise, but came back here, I think, at 3 years old and really shows a great account of himself and was just so impressive last time out. Just makes a lot of sense. So he's $20 win bet for me, but also the single in this race on that daily double that I had starting in the previous one.
There we go. Matthew's got the single. He's wrapping up his daily double he's got the win bet. Sara, you wrapped up your daily double with the 7 Zulu Kingdom. Matthew, you're going to be very happy to hear that like your teammate thought about your future and really kind of like hedged her exacta bets here to take care of you. Zulu Kingdom does not win. Go ahead. Tell him what you're doing for everyone, for the team, you martyr.
It's not that much coverage, but there is a small saver in play. But my main opinion is that Zulu Kingdom wins this race for fun coming into here after a Grade 1 victory. And so I have a $5 exacta with him, the number 7 over 1 States' Rights, and the number 5 Out on Bail. Horses that I think will probably be around that 3rd, 4th choice, maybe even 5th type of range, with the presence of a couple others that are likely to be your 2nd and 3rd choice in here. And then we have a small saver. We have a $2 exacta, 1-5 over 7, and then a $1 exacta box with all 3 of them, just in case Zulu Kingdom doesn't get himself into 1st or 2nd position in there. So that closes out my total $100.
Yeah, but don't forget, we still have
there's more
our mandatory bailout plays later for the final race on this card, which, believe me, they saved the worst for last at Penn National. So this will be fun. All right, guys, that's it. Race 6. I think we've got everyone covered. We move on to race 8, where Matthew's got to play here. We're talking 8.3 furlongs, also known as 1 mile, 70 yards, $4,000. Non-winners of 2 something. I'm not here to read your fucking conditions. Claiming on the dirt. What are you doing with this 2-turn race here at Penn Nash?
Yeah, listen, I wanted to hit like a non-stakes race and outside of the bailout. And so this is, listen, me and all of my glory at Penn National. And so I like the number 3 here, Shelter from the Storm, 6-1 for Cody Beadle. And this is the one I just think really good value for 3 for 4 winning at this distance. I think you can look at that effort last time out. I don't think the horse wants to go 5.5 furlongs. And so you look at what this horse can do against Claiming Company. Has been moving up with the conditions rather well in terms of, the N2L, the N3L, 2 back. And, since joining the Beetle Barn, I think that, horse obviously showed a lot of effort in that race back in May. And then, like I said, I think last time out was 5.5, which is too short. I think, honestly, probably more of a race just to make sure the horse stayed in shape. And they probably had a race like this circled on the calendar to run on a bigger day potentially. And so I think Shelter from the Storm at 6-1 makes a lot of sense in this particular spot, can have a little bit of tactical speed. I like the jockey change that the new trainer made to back with Rojas, and the fact that horse was much more aggressively ridden. And like I said, I think given the fact that they're stretching back out, is going to find himself more forwardly placed. And I think just fits against this caliber of competition. I think 6-1 is a great price to get on this one. So like I said, I'm doing a $25 win bet on the 3.
Well, Matthew, good news, we're in the same race. Bad news, we are mortal fucking enemies, because I also have action here in race 8. It's a $10 daily double, starting with another single here in race 8.
Now, the women love you when you get out there. Why do you think that is?
What did you say?
The women love you when you get out there.
Why is that, ladies?
Well, I'm asking you.
Huh?
All right, I'm sucker for single and lone speed, and that's what I'm doing in this race with the 4 Super John. He should be able to control the pace and sneak away on the front, and I think he'll probably take money, so I'm opting to stretch this to a daily double with Super John singled here in race 9. I stretch it in to race 9, which is 6 furlongs, $77,500, non-winners of 1 something, Claiming, and I'm using 2 horses in this leg to finish it up. To finish up my $100 budget portion here. I thought there was a chance that the 1 Tilted Tiara could outlast on the front end. So I'm including in the second half of this double that 1 Tilted Tiara. And then I'm including the 3 for Crying Out Loud at 2. Just in case Tilted Tiara indeed does not last. I think that for Crying Out Loud is probably the horse that's there to pick up the pieces. So that puts me in for my $100. But guys, like I mentioned, we're not leaving you in the dust here with race 9. There are 2 more races on this card. And
Chase,
actually,
let me just say, I did just want to interject for 1 second before we get to the last race and just say, can we all have a moment of appreciation for the 9-1 morning line on Tilted Tiara? You don't see that every day of the week.
No, that is true. That is true. It's usually increment 2 or 5. Yeah, that is pretty tilted. Pretty tilted. I'm just thinking of a roughed up prom queen when I hear that. It's a bad image. It's a bad image. I need to stop watching serial killer things. All right, guys. Once again, we have decided to hold back. That's right. We saved our most tastiest morsels of free picks for the Penn Nash card for the very last race. That's right. It's time for our bailout bets.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
And when you leave with something, don't forget, go to surebetcoffee.com. The Sure Betties would sure appreciate. Pick up a bag of the Breakaway Bowl.
It's time to fuck shit up with Sure Bet in your cup.
Might not have had Sure Bet in your cup, but it's still time to fuck shit up. Guys, 8.3 furlongs. $10,000. Claiming on the dirt the finale at Penn National Friday night. Sarah, what is your $25 play in this race?
Going with a horse who's not the morning line favorite and who has a fantastic name. And the number 3, Genie in a Bridle. The $25 is going on this one to win. A horse that's coming in off of a little bit of a layoff here. Hasn't run at Penn National, but just has numbers that absolutely fit with this group and seems to be one that's very consistent overall.
She's throwing one downfield at 2-1 here. It's Genie in a Bridle. She's hoping that Hernandez will ride her the right way, as the Christina Aguilera song would have gone. All right, Matthew. I haven't called you Matthew yet once. All right, Matthew.
Yeah.
What are you doing here in race 11?
Listen, I'm going to do it works out nicely that Sara and I are teammates because we really do have very different plays in these races. I'm going to go to the number 6. And this is a horse that I am going to do. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. I'm doing the bet for one reason. I'm doing the horse for another reason. I'll start with the horse. Tim Kreiser, the trainer, is married to Nina Golden. Nina Golden went to high school with me at Muhlenberg High School. And so for that reason, in addition to the fact that he's a 27% trainer, I usually like to use Tim Kreiser's horses. And this is the other Tim Kreiser horse. And I'm not going to get othered by Tim Kreiser in this bailout race. So I'm going to be using G's Fireball, who had a nice race 2 back. And again, might have been a little over the skis last time out, although that was a race that was scheduled for the turf. And so maybe it was just facing a little bit of a different group. But listen, going to go with this one at the 6-1. And like I said, I started following horse racing, betting horse racing when I was at Penn National. My dad took me, and one thing my dad taught me was don't use win bets. My dad liked place bets and show bets. And so I'm doing a $25 place bet on G's Fireball and a little homage to my dad. And a little tip of the cap to one Nina Golden of Muhlenberg High School and her husband, Tim Kreiser, on G's Fireball.
There we go. Matthew, my father taught me you're never in trouble if it's funny. So I say
that's true.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to make a joke at Matthew's expense. I'm bigger than that, Matthew. All right, my play here. I'm going to go ahead and give you Barry's. Barry was a $25 win on the number 3 along with Sara. I'm a $25 win on the 6 G's Fireball. Looked like lone early speed, and I'm gonna swing away. I'm swinging away with my massive stones here, and not betting to place. I'm betting to win. So next time you bully me, remember that. Remember who's the bigger man in this spot. Yeah. That's it.
Well, I just hope the pace doesn't melt down. That's for sure.
The biggest man here is me. All right.
That's probably true, to be honest. All right, guys, it is time to wrap up bets. I'm going to do this bit by myself because Barry's not here. Hey, Barry, how do you feel about wrapping up bets like we have to? Is mandatory. All right, here we go. Sarah, go ahead. Congratulations on joining Kaylee Shapiro in the 2-column club of bets. You're one of 2 now.
Wow, lucky me. All right, cool. Besides cultural appropriation that I absolutely 100% did approve of, so don't comment on it because I am all for it when it's about myself. We have race number 3, a $2 exacta box with the 3 and the 8, $5 to win on number 8, and that 50-cent try key box is one of the bigger plays of the night. The 8 with 1, 3, 5, 6, 11, and 12. Another exacta key box, 4 is the key with 5, 11, 12 in race 4. I'm with 3/4 of us on Bessie Abbott in the 5th, $10 to win, a $4 daily double with her and Zulu Kingdom in the next race. And I think he's way the horse to beat. So have him in an exacta over a couple others with one small saver. And then the mandatory to play, mandatory to close things out bet on Genie in a Bridle.
Genie in a Bridle. All right, Matthew. To wrap it up, what's your team name? Hold on, we're going to figure out your team name real quick. I'm going to count to 3 and say your name, and then whoever I say, you have to give me the first word in your mind. 1, 2, 3, Sarah.
Mountain Dew.
Matthew, 1, 2, 3.
Rockaway.
Team Mountain Dew Rockaway. Let's go. All right. How are you rounding out the picks for Team Mountain Dew Rockaway?
I love it. And so I'm going to go. This is a phenomenal team, by the way. Like we are going to crush this competition because, man, we are on different horses, which is, I think, great. And so on race number 4, I'm going to go $10 to win on the 9, which is your favorite for Brittany Russell, F35. I'm also going to do a $5 exacta ice cold with the 9 and the 7 sharp tones in the 5th race, which is the Penn Oaks. I don't love Bessie Abbott, unlike everyone else, and I'm going to go with a little bit of a different direction. I'm going to do a 1-9 exacta box for $10, a $20 overall bet with the number 9 Laura Lynn and the number 1 Ascent for Chad Brown. And I'm going to start this as the first leg of a daily double where I go 1, 4, 6, 8, 9. Much like everyone else, I do think Zulu Kingdom is the horse to beat, and he is singled in that daily double into the next race. And I also have a $20 win bet on him in race number 8. I have a $25 win bet on the number 3 Shelter from the Storm. And then in the final bailout, obviously going with my boy, Tim Kreiser, and a $25 place bet on G's Fireball.
Took you like a Rotary Club connection to get that pick. I came up to it on my own. I'm just saying it like that, since it's a battle, since it's head to head, I'm throwing barbs. So guys, I have to come up with a team name for me and Barry. I can't do the first word that pops to your mind when you count yourself down thing. So someone's going to have to do it for me. Who volunteers?
Hey, I'll do it. All right.
Matthew, go.
1, 2, 3, Barry.
Steam.
1, 2, 3, Chase.
Urchin.
There you go.
Team Steam Urchin. Let's do it. All right.
That's a good one.
We're like one of those sushi delicacies that whenever you eat it, like you have a small chance of dying. All right, here are Barry's picks for Team Steam Urchin. $20 win on the number 10 in race 2, along with a $5 daily double, the 6-10 with the 4-11. Race 4, he had a $20 win, number 4. Race 5, you went with the $20 win on number 5. Race 6, $20 win, number 8. And race 11, $25 to win on the 3. And for me, the anchor leg of Team Steam Urchin, $5 daily double in race 1, 1 with the 1-6. Race 3, we've got a $2 try, 8-12 with 8-11-12 with 1-8-11-12. Race 5, $20 win on number 5 and a $2 exacta, 5 with the 6-7. Race 6, we got a $5 trifecta, 7 with 2-4-8 with 2-4-8. And then race 8, a $10 daily double, 4 with the 1-3. And then race 11, instead of place betting, we are win betting. Number 6 for Team Steam Urchin. Guys, thank you so much for joining episode 400. It has been a chaotic episode 400, which kind of feels a little bit fitting, to be honest. It's never been that well-oiled of a machine around here, if we're gonna be honest about things. Matthew, say nice things about me in the show. Go.
Chase is one of my best friends, not just in horse racing, but in life, somebody that I can reach out to anytime I need help and assistance. And your friendship over these last several years has really been something that buoys me whenever I feel down. You're someone who I truly love from the bottom of my heart. And I say all that very, very sincerely. Yes, I do make fun of your pace meltdowns and sprint races, and I do think it is very funny. But you are, like I said, you're one of a kind, Chase, and I'm so happy that you made it to 400, and here's to 400 more and many, many more after that. And I don't know if Sara and I will still be joining from Rockaway Beach for episode 800. I hope not, actually. Maybe we can still maybe join from the same domicile, but maybe not like the same. And maybe we're upgrading at some point, maybe closer to the new Belmont Park. That'd be nice. But yeah, this has been awesome. I love everything you do on the Notorious OTB, and just thrilled to have you bring me on for such a big episode.
Thank you, man. It started as sarcastic pearl clutching and then fake tears. This turned into real tears. That almost got me there, buddy. So because I'm in a very fragile emotional state, Sara, say nice things about Barry.
Barry, well, okay. I want to say nice things about both of you, but I think that the collaboration that you guys have been able to put together, where you were looking for somebody to fill the shoes of co-hosting with you, being that regular guest that is on, and just being someone to play off of, and Barry also getting back into the podcasting world after rest in peace Chuck Simon. I think that it was just sort of one of those really cool moments where you're both helping each other to be able to still make the content that we both want to see from both of you, and to have that level of community between the two of you. And I think it's a good collab. I love hearing both of your opinions. I think that Barry has a sharp eye for things and always isn't afraid to go no chalk, which I respect quite a bit with being, outrun the odds and whatnot. So Barry, I've only met him once. I was kind of taken by surprise to see him because I didn't know he was going to be there, and he's a lot taller than I thought he was. But I think that with him and you coming up with this podcast together and uniting, you will definitely get to episode 800, no matter where Matthew and I are.
Thank you. That was very sweet. Oh, you guys, I wasn't expecting that. I was honestly hoping for something biting and sarcastic, not to be all up in my feelings.
Fuck you.
All right. I can pull it together for the end. All right, guys, that's it. What we've given you our tournament of pain picks for the entire Penn National card. Barry was lost in the ether, unfortunately, but we gave you his picks as well. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got yet another big show at the normal time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. God's time. We'll be talking the Stephen Foster card at Churchill Downs this Saturday with a $100 budget. Like we do. Studies show that it be like that sometimes. We are out now. For Matthew and Sara, I say good night and good luck. We love you. Bye-bye. Ooh, what are we going to ride out on? What are we going to ride out on? Ooh, I got to find something good. Ooh, it's got to be something good.
13,000 cigarettes, preferably 6,000 of those non-menthol.